Good morning, dear students. I'm Dr. Kiran Deshwal, Assistant Professor English. In this video lecture, I will teach you this story, A Kitchen in the Corner of the House. We left our story at the description where the writer is telling us how authority transfers after the death of their husbands. So, the writer is talking about Gigi, how she manages to control the kitchen. She keeps the masalas with her and she rebukes for not to misuse them. She says that saffron was especially ordered from Kashmir. Don't dump it into the pulao. You need not to put or add saffron in pulao because it is very expensive and it has been brought from Kashmir and it is Kashmiri special. What are you cooking for the vegetarians today? And we know that the fight is between Gigi and Bari Gigi. That's why her main concern is what will be cooked for Bari Gigi because she is the only vegetarian in the family. Was not there anything left over for them from yesterday? She thinks that she can eat the leftover food. There is no need to cook fresh food for her. What is the use of just eating and then going to toilet? From that dimly lit narrow windowed kitchen, there were hands reaching out to control like the tentacles of the octopus which lives in the sea. So here the writer is comparing the women who are working in the kitchen with octopus having 8 legs. They reached out to bind them tightly, and the women accepted their bonds with joy. Here the writer wants to say that kitchen bounds us, it binds us into many limitations, but women accept that with joy. If their waists were bound, they call them anklets, and if they touch their foreheads, they call them crowns, and all these ornaments uh, bound them and curtail their freedom, but these women love them by calling them their anklets and their crowns. The women entered a world that was enclosed by wire on all four sides and reigned there proudly. So the writer here wants to say that a woman's freedom is limited and she is uh, confined into the four walls of the house, and still within the house she is given so many limitations and she accepts it happily. It was their kingdom. They made earth shaking decisions. Today we will have mutton pulao on, and making decision over the food which will be cooked in kitchen. They think that they have the authority. If they decide that we will cook pulao today, they think that we have the decision making power. Tomorrow let it be puri masala. When the window was opened together in the mountain, the open air, the blue and the green, it was as if their strength was sucked out of them like Veena Mosi. But opening the window shows that they can look for targets, and it shows that women also can be ambitious, and open windows shows that they are hopeful, they want to go higher, and in this situation their situation can be compared with Veena Mosi. Like Veena Mosi is Kishan's aunt. She was now 50 and had been a widow from the age of 15, and she lived a long life of widowhood. She was a teacher in a village. She had a room and a kitchen at the end of the garden belonging to the owners of the school. She lives in a village and she teaches in a school, and she lives in the school uh, where there is a kitchen and a house, and behind the kitchen there is a champak tree with its creamy flowers and yellow stems. Flower laden creepers entered through her windows freely. In the evenings all the neighboring children would come to visit their teacher, but she is lonely. Otherwise there was the coil song from the asoka tree. If there are no children, she has to listen coil song from asoka tree, that is nightingale. But Veena Mosi would still say, I don't have any authority, because she is all alone. The little ones surrounded her, calling out, "Teacher, teacher." She had the entire responsibility for primary education at the school. Because the writer wants to say that women thinks that the real authority is the authority over the kitchen. Veena Mosi runs the school, and she is responsible for the primary education, and she is the head of that school. Still, she thinks that being family less, she doesn't have any family, that's why she thinks that she doesn't have any authority. And she could walk down to bazaar at will. She is free to do whatever she wants. Still, she thinks that she doesn't have any authority. If she put a chai pie under the soka tree, she could share the companionship of the coil and its calling voice until her longing ceased. In the early mornings, the white flowers were at touching distance the minute she opened her door. She is very close to nature. She can fulfill all her wishes. But Veena Mosi's breath caught in her chest because she thinks that the real authority comes from family. If you are working as the head of the family, you are more powerful, you have more power. As soon as she reached open spaces, something in her moved toward the earth. Her nipples and her womb became a stone heavy, pulling her down, descending to the earth in surrender. She thinks that I'm a widow and I haven't enjoyed any nuptial blessings, forcing her to stand still, her feet buried deep. So she feels lonely and she feels powerless. From the edge of the lake, white wings were raised, lowered, and tilted as the birds began to move. The birds are flying over the lake, and the scene is very beautiful. Meenakshi was taken with astonishment on the very first instant that they come into view. That they came into view. As soon as Meenakshi watches the birds, she uh, delights. It is pleasant to look at them. As the birds circled over the entire spread of the lake, coming to rest upon its waters, their red beaks shone through the distance. So it is a very beautiful scene to behold. And then they rose again, smoothly separating their wide wings, tilting to the left and then to right, now gliding. The swish of their wings was very near, almost in one's face. They are very near to the people. Their coral beaks, red beaks, were flat and thrust forwards. Russian birds were they. They came to Anna Sagar Lake for a few months, sudden visitors. They are foreign birds, they are migrants. The picnic to the lake, the family is having a picnic at the lake side. The picnic to the lake had been decided upon only the previous evening. The plan was for all the relations to make a trip to the lake together. So the family loves to make trips, and today the trip is to lakeside. For 20 people, 100 puris with enough potato and tomato chutney, 100 sandwiches, things to munch, bottles of milk for the babies, all the things which are needed to enjoy a picnic. Hot water in flask, a portable stove to cook hot pakoras in the evening, oil, besan, onions, chili powder, salt, and green peppers for bhajis. Every thing is taken care by the women. They carried with them each and every material which is needed. A light burnt in the kitchen from 4 o'clock. So they started preparing for the kitchen for the picnic in the early morning, and a light burnt in the kitchen from 4 o'clock when dawn broke. On a large tray, Gigi began to mix the wheat flour into dough. Kusuma was heating oil in a pan, ready to cook the rolled out puris. Radha Bhabiji was spreading bread with butter and chutney. The packets of bread opened surrounding her. Bari Gigi was filling small plastic bags with things to nibble and rubber banding them. All of them are preparing to go for a picnic. Meena had not thought about this whole aspect of the trip to the lake. "Oh, Meena, are you up?" said Radha Bhabiji. Her hair was glued together with sweat because she was working in the kitchen since morning, since 4 o'clock. Will you make some tea because we are tired? And what happens next, we will see in the next video. Thanks for watching.